don't want to fix it alone? Call RVFix to get virtual assistance from a master technician today.
Hi, it's Scott with RVFix. Today we're going to be winterizing a trailer. Most winterizes are going to be very similar to what we have here. You're going to find stuff in different locations, and we'll kind of just go over how to locate those and get you winterized for the season. So first, what we want to do when we start a winterize is you always want to make sure your freshwater tank is drained. Typically, you'll find the drain underneath towards the center of the coach usually. A lot of times it'll be really close to where your fresh water tank fill is. Once we have the tank draining, what we'll want to do is make sure we don't have the unit pressurized. So we'll go inside, make sure our pump is shut off. We'll locate our pump switch. We'll go ahead and shut that off. So what we'll do is, like I say, we shut the pump off. We're going to come over. We're going to relieve any pressure there may be in the system. And the reason we do that is our next step, we're going to take out the water heater drain plug, and it'll kind of save you from taking a bath. And we're going to locate our water heater. Remove our cover, set this to the side. Then what we want to do, another thing you can also do is just open your pressure relief, just to make sure you do have all the pressure relieved out of the system. Once that's done, what we'll want to do is, on this unit, we do have an on-off switch out here. We'll want to make sure we shut that off. That's for the electric element. By shutting it off here, that way if a switch gets turned on inside, it's turned off here. So if the coach is plugged in, anything like that, we're not going to burn that element up. So just a safety to go ahead and shut it off here. That way, whatever happens in there will not power up the water heater. We're going to locate our drain. On this particular unit, it is an anode rod. So we're just going to unscrew that. This is a 1/16" socket. And thread this. And we're going to just remove that. Typically, just slide that in there to hold it. We can open our relief to allow the system to drain a little quicker. Now that's just about drained out. What we'll do is we'll locate our low point drains. Those are typically going to be located underneath the trailer in various locations depending on the model. We're just going to open these up. And these are turn valves. We're going to let those drain. There will either be a valve or a cap depending on your RV manufacturer. We'll let those drain. All right, now that we've got our low point drains, we want to make sure we shut those so we can start pumping antifreeze through our system. So as those are shut, we'll also want to kind of make a walk around and see, make sure you get, if you've got an outside shower, outside kitchen, this one has a spray port. We want to make sure we don't forget about those when it comes to winterizing. They are very commonly missed, and that will cause a freeze breakage. So we're going to come inside. Typically now we're going to need to locate our water pump. Easiest way to do that is just turn the pump on and listen for the noise. This one right here is located up front. I can hear it coming from underneath the kitchen. We're going to open the cabinet. We've got a couple access panels, it looks like. So we're going to take these off and remove the panel. We're going to locate in there is going to be the back of our water heater and also our water pump. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bypass our water heater. The reason we do this is there's no reason to pump 10 gallons of antifreeze into your water heater. So you typically have two valves, one on the top, one on the bottom. You want to make sure the valves are pointed in line with the hoses, and that'll put it in a bypass mode, so we're not going to be pumping antifreeze into our water heater. Once we've got that done, we want to make sure then we've got our antifreeze ready. Typically in an RV, it'll take 2 gallons. We always like to recommend having 3 just in case. Maybe we forgot to shut a low point, something like that. We turn the pump on and we pump half our antifreeze out on the ground. So Just out of safety, we always recommend 1 extra gallon. And this is a potable antifreeze. And that's what you want to make sure you're using is an RV Marine potable antifreeze. On your pump is a pump pickup system. So with this, we've got a valve here. We'll turn in line with our hose, and that'll allow the water pump to pick up from this pickup hose instead of picking up from the fresh water tank. You do not want to add antifreeze into your fresh water tank. With them being plastic tanks, you'll never get it out. That's why we use a bypass system. We're just going to put that into the antifreeze. We can come back to our pump switch. We're going to make sure our pump turns on. As you can see, it starts pumping the antifreeze, and it should build up pressure and shut off, just like it would be, if you were running off your pump. Now, pretty simple. We're just going to go to each faucet until we get some pink. You want to make sure you do hot and cold. You just look for the pink. Once we got pink, we're good. Now we'll go to the bathroom, and we'll want to do the same thing. Using your bath faucet. There we get a little pink. Also run a little extra antifreeze in there. That allows you to get down in the P-traps, protects those during the winter. Also keep an eye on your antifreeze jug. You want to make sure you don't run out of antifreeze. So we've got a little bit left. We're going to go ahead and use that. We're going to do the toilet. And that's just a matter of stepping on the pedal. You're just going to flush the toilet until you get pink. Perfect. That's done. Then so we're about out of antifreeze. We're going to go ahead and switch up our jug here. One thing with the antifreeze, you really can't use too much of it. A little bit extra is always a little safe insurance. Then we want to make sure we hit the shower. We're going to do the same thing with it. And I'll run it till we get some pink. And once again, by running a little longer, we're just getting a little more antifreeze down those P-traps. Now we've got that done. Just want to double check. We've got our kitchen, bathrooms all complete. Now we can come outside. We're going to go back to our spray port that we talked about earlier. That hang down. And you're going to run that until we get pink pretty quick. And then we can pull that. And now our outside spray port is protected. Drain that hose. Now we'll come over and finish up with our low point drains, making sure that we've got antifreeze to those. And we're just going to crack those open. Got some pink. Got some pink. Now we have pretty much completed our Winterize. We'll go in now. We can shut our pump off. We'll leave our water heater in the bypass until we get ready to summarize. And then once we're summarized, then we'll take it out of bypass. But we'll leave pretty much everything in the bypass mode on the water heater, and we can put it all back together. Let that hose drain out a little bit. That just gets tucked back in. Now, if you don't want to keep your antifreeze, you can, if you have a little bit left over, you can just dump it down the traps. That just protects P-traps, tanks. And that's winterizing a trailer.
Thanks for watching. If this video didn't solve your problem, don't worry, we're here to help. Give us a call at 1-844-66-RVFix. We'll diagnose your issue quickly with a master technician on a video call, get any parts and warranty processed, and if needed, we'll coordinate a service center or mobile technician to get you fixed. We'll handle it all so you can get back to camping.